I welcome you in the soft hour of the evening. I speak with a calm voice. I invite you to settle. Let the day rest. Let the rush slow. Find a place that feels safe. Adjust a pillow. Soften your shoulders. Close your eyes when you are ready. I sit with you now. I read to you slowly. I read to you gently. My words walk like slow footsteps across a familiar room. Each step asks the body to relax a little more. Each step asks the mind to soften. Breathe in quietly. Hold for a count of 2. Breathe out longer. Let the out-breath carry away tension. Repeat this breath 3 times. Feel the chest ease. Feel the shoulders drop. With each out-breath, the day grows smaller. The room grows warmer. A sense of rest begins to settle in. We come together for forgiveness, for grace, for peace. We do not come to argue. We come to receive. We come with honest hearts. We come with tired hands and hopeful minds. I place before you short readings and gentle words. I choose them to rest your heart. I shape them so mercy can be felt, not debated. Listen as I paraphrase a passage that comforts like a warm blanket. It speaks about a shepherd who knows the name of every lamb. The voice is steady. The presence is close. It says that even in the darkest valley, there is company. Fear loosens its hold. A gentle hand guides, even when footsteps fade. The shepherd's care is near. There is rest beside quiet waters. There is a path that leads to calm. Let that image fill the space behind your eyes. Another passage reminds us that love forgets many of our wrongs. Mercy sweeps over the mistakes we keep replaying. Grace opens a door that seems long locked. Imagine a heavy door. Imagine a light on the other side. Imagine a hand turning the latch. The door opens. Warm air enters. The room you step into is full of forgiveness. Stay there a moment. Breathe in that warmth. I tell a short truth. You are not defined by one night or one error. You are held by a longer story. That story stitches mercy into the seams. It is quiet work. It repairs what is frayed. It does not shout. It slowly mends what needs mending. I guide you through a brief confession that is simple and small. This is not public. This is not a list to be judged. This is a quiet naming. In your mind, tell the small mistakes. Tell the large ones if you must. Speak them as a child might drop stones into a still pond. Each confession makes one small ripple. Watch the surface calm. Forgiveness arrives like rain. It softens the edges. Now, imagine sitting at a table where grace is poured like hot tea. Take a cup. Feel its warmth in your hands. With each sip, accept a kindness you do not need to earn. Let the warmth pass from your fingers to your chest. It rests there. It settles. It expands into the places that have been tight and weary. I share a short passage that feels like a harbor. It invites the worn to come home. It does not demand proof or performance. It calls simply come and find rest. Hear that invitation as a soft bell. Imagine walking into a small harbor. Boats are tied. Nets are folded. The lights are low. Someone meets you with a gentle smile. The promise is that safety is not earned by speed or strength. It is given freely. If your mind tries to list things to fix, let it pass. Place each thought on a leaf and let the leaf drift down a slow-moving stream. Watch it flow away. You do not have to chase every thought. Not tonight. Not now. I speak plainly about hope. Hope is not distant. Hope is like a lamp set on a table within reach. It is not an ocean to swim across. It stands near enough to stand up and touch. Feel the lamp's light. It warms without burning. It casts out places of fear. Keep one hand near that light and take comfort. I walk you through 3 small practices to bring this peace close to your body. First, a grounding practice. Plant your feet in the bed or on the floor. Press gently. Notice the contact. Name 5 things you can sense without judgment. The rhythm of breath, the weight of blankets, the sound of distant traffic or wind, a scent that lingers, the warmth of a hand, or the softness of fabric. These small senses return you to the present. They steady a wandering mind. Second, a short blessing for the hands. Place your hands over your heart. Let them rest there. Breathe into that place. Think of kindness you have received today. No matter how small, let that kindness move from your head to your chest. Receive it. Allow it to be enough. Third, a simple letting go. Picture holding a small stone that represents a worry. Toss it into a wide river in your mind. Feel the weight leave the palm. Watch the ripples. Tell yourself, I have done what I can for now. The rest can be held by grace. I paraphrase another familiar passage as a promise. It says that mercy is new every morning, even when the night feels long. There is a morning of fresh compassion waiting. Imagine dawn as a gentle color washing the sky. That color touches the edges of your fears. It warms them until they fade. Trust the slow renewal that comes with light. I keep my voice slow. I avoid long lists and heavy doctrine. I let each sentence be a careful step so you can follow. There is no hurry here. The aim is rest, not argument. This is sanctuary for the tired mind. You may carry regret like a heavy cloak. If so, imagine taking that cloak off and laying it at the feet of someone who knows you deeply. It is not a mockery. It is true. The cloak is accepted. You are invited to stand lighter. This image is not about erasing responsibility. It is about entering into a place where healing can begin. I speak about peace as a friendship. Peace sits beside you. It does not lecture. It offers a cup of stillness. It knows the names of your small aches. It listens without rushing you to explain. Let that companionship be close now. I guide a short meditation on a breath that is longer out than in. Breathe in for 2 counts. Breathe out for 4. With each longer out breath, imagine a thread leaving your shoulders. The thread falls away. Your body grows softer. The muscles let go. The jaw unclenches. The hands relax. Continue this pattern for a few rounds. Slow and quiet, gentle and even. As you listen, Allow images of forgiveness to form without forcing them. Maybe someone appears in the image. Maybe there is an open field. Maybe it is simply light on a wall. Whatever comes is enough. Observe it without comment. Accept what you see as a small gift. I offer a short reflection on mercy and memory. Memories often replay like songs. Some of those songs are sad. Mercy can be like a new verse. It does not erase the melody. It adds a softer harmony. The new harmony makes the song less sharp. It teaches the heart to sing again without fear. Now I guide a brief act of gratitude. Think of 3 small things from the day that carried a spark of light. A warm cup, a kind word, a quiet moment. Say thank you silently for each. Gratitude does not deny pain. It puts small lights along the path. Those lights help the next step feel safer. I remind you that forgiveness sometimes comes as a slow tide. It does not always crash in at once. That is okay. Be patient. Let each wave wash over a little more of the shore. Allow yourself time to heal. Mercy respects time. I speak now of the promise that grace is not earned. It is received. Picture a gift with your name on it. You do not have to wrap it. You do not have to pay. It waits. You can take it whenever you are ready. Hold it. Feel the ribbon. Let the gift be what it is. As the room grows stiller, I read a few lines that sound like an embrace. They say you are known. They say you are loved. They say you are given rest. Imagine the words wrapping around like a soft blanket. Let them sink into the shoulders and spine. Let them settle where stress used to live. If sleep does not come right away, that is fine. Rest can be wakeful. It can be a slow window into calm. Lie in that window. Watch the sky behind closed eyes. Notice how thoughts come and go like clouds. You do not need to chase them. Let them float. I offer a small prayer spoken quietly and simply. The prayer asks only for peace and gentle mercy. It asks for rest that heals. It asks for a light that does not blind, but warms. I keep it brief. I keep it soft. I speak it as a friend might pray at a bedside. Finally, I give a closing blessing. May forgiveness find its way to the places that ache. May grace meet you where you are. May peace settle into your bones. May your sleep be gentle and tender. May you wake with courage for the day ahead. Rest now. Allow the breath to be slow and steady. Let the images of mercy and warmth remain at the edge of thought. I will remain here in voice for a moment longer. When you drift away, know that I am still with you in spirit. The reading ends, but the blessing continues. Sleep in confidence. Sleep in grace. I will speak again tomorrow, if you wish. For now, good night. I invite you now to settle deeper. Find a place that lets the body loosen. Let the jaw soften. Let the knees rest. Keep breathing slowly. My voice moves with you. I speak in low, steady tones. I am close. I am present. Listen to the small sounds in the room. The hum of a fan, the distant night, the soft turn of breath. Let each sound be part of a gentle rhythm. Let the rhythm be company. Nothing needs fixing in this moment. Nothing needs proving. The one who keeps watch knows everything you carry. You are simply allowed to be. Now I ask you to focus on presence. Not an idea. Not a theory. A quiet nearness. Like someone sitting across the room. Not speaking. Only holding space. Picture that nearness as a soft color. It is neither bright nor dull. It is a warm grey blue that eases the edges of things. The color settles behind your closed eyes. It fills the small corners where worry gathers. Watch it spread slowly. I read softly from a passage that invites rest. The voice in that passage leans toward the weary. It does not demand proof of worth. It offers an open place to lay down burdens. Imagine a path that leads from a noisy market into a quiet garden. The path is simple and worn. It invites tired feet. You walk it without hurry. At the end of the path, someone waits with an outstretched hand and a gentle nod. The promise is not that hard things vanish immediately. Rather, help arrives for the next step. Let that promise be near. Let your breathing match the stillness of that garden. Inhale slowly for 3 counts. Hold a soft moment. Exhale in slow of a few counts. Feel the belly rise and fall like a little tide. With each out-breath, allow the shoulders to drift down. Allow the forehead to smooth. Keep this rhythm. It asks the nervous system to quiet. It asks the mind to trust the body's signals. Notice the points where your body meets the surface below. The curve of the lower back. The heels. The back of the head. Imagine these points are being gathered like loose threads into a neat bundle. Each collection of threads becomes more orderly. Each knot relaxes. The spine lengthens without effort. The hands become light. The fingers have no need to hold. In my reading, I come across a simple image of shelter. It compares the quiet of God's presence to a small room with no drafts. The room has a low window and a chair by the sill. A light sits on the table, barely bright enough to read by. In that room there is beige and wood and a soft cushion. No grand gestures, only steadiness. You are allowed to rest in that room. You are safe to breathe there. Hold that picture gently. I encourage a short practice of naming. Think of one honest thing you need to hear tonight. It can be as simple as, you are seen, or you are allowed to stop, or you are forgiven even if you cannot name. The why, choose a single line and say it quietly in your mind. Let it sit. Let it sound like a bell one time. You do not have to list reasons. You do not have to expand it into a sermon. One sentence is enough. Now, move with me through a slow body scan. Start at the top of the skull. Notice any tightness. Breathe into it. Let it loosen. Move down to the jaw. Let the tongue rest in the mouth. Unclench the teeth. Let the lips part slightly if that feels natural. Soften the cheeks. Let the face become quiet. Shift attention to the neck and shoulders. Imagine a warm, invisible cloth laid across the shoulders. It is not heavy. It simply presses gently, encouraging release. The neck has room to lengthen. The shoulders can float away from the ears a little. Breathe into that space. Slide attention down the arms. Feel their weight. Notice the elbows. Notice the wrists and hands. If the hands hold tension, rest them on the belly or at the sides. Let fingers fall open like a flower. Notice any small tremors. They are allowed to settle. Bring awareness to the chest. Feel the steadiness of breath. You do not need to change it. Just feel. If the heart feels busy, imagine a small lamp set near it. The lamp gives only enough light to warm. It does not reveal all. It simply comforts what is near. Stand with that lamp for a few quiet moments. Move to the belly. Breathe into the soft place beneath the ribs. Let each out-breath relax the muscles there. Let the belly be pliable. Let the muscles know they can release. Soundless support sits beneath the ribs like a hand. Notice the hips and pelvis. They hold much of our day. Picture them on a wide shelf that holds them easily. Let them rest on that shelf. The legs lie heavy and full of rest. The knees let go. The ankles soften. Imagine the soles of the feet melting into the mattress or floor, as if a warm wash flows from heel to toe. As I read, I paraphrase a brief passage that paints images of protection and tender watching. It imagines someone who keeps a lamp over the bed and waters a small garden at dawn. This caretaker does not hurry. They attend quietly. They fold the covers when a person sleeps. They stay through the night, not for praise, but because someone needs company. Hear that care as a steady fact. It is not earned by effort. It is present now. If thoughts begin to circle, offer them to a simple bowl in your mind. Place each thought in the bowl. Let it cool. Watch the bowl fill but not overflow. This bowl holds what you need to leave for tonight. It is neither judgmental nor panicked. It is practical. There is time tomorrow to handle what remains. For now, let the bowl be enough. Now I ask you to picture a small book on a bedside table. The book holds short notes of encouragement. No long essays. No lectures. A single line on each page. Turn a page now in that book. Read the line slowly. It might say, "You are allowed to slow," or "You are not alone," or "Your small things matter." Let the sentence land on the chest like a soft leaf. Allow the meaning to sink in without forcing it. I offer a short exercise in gentle confession. Confession here is not a list for guilt. It is an offering. In your mind, name one thing that feels heavy tonight. Speak it quietly to the one who listens. Imagine placing it on a small table. Do not throw it away. Do not hide it. Simply set it down. Notice an ease when it is set aside. Notice a small shift in the shoulders. This is not about erasing. It is about unclenching. In a few moments I read another short passage that speaks of morning mercy. It compares mercy to dew that appears on grass each dawn. Dew does not care about the height of the grass or its color. It settles evenly. It refreshes the blades of grass as they carry that thought. Picture small drops across the field of your life. None are too small to be touched. Let the breath slow even more. Inhale for 4 counts. Exhale for 6 counts. Keep the mind gentle. If the counting stops, that is fine. Return to the rhythm when you notice it. Stay with the slow motion until the body feels ready to rest. I suggest a short practice of listening for a single word. Choose one word that means shelter to you. It might be mercy, or warmth, or steady. Hear it spoken in your mind. Let it repeat quietly, like a distant clock. Each repetition is soft. Each repetition is enough. You do not have to analyze the word. You only need to feel it. If tears come, let them come. They are not failure. They are release. If laughter comes, let it come softly. Joy can be tender. Both are welcome in the presence you now inhabit. I guide a brief, simple prayer. I do not use long sentences. I do not argue theology. I speak in plain terms. I ask for rest. I ask for mercy to meet what hurts. I ask for a small, honest courage for tomorrow. The prayer is brief. It ends with a quiet, steady hope. Before I close this part, I give one more gentle image. Imagine a low window with rain at night. You sit by it. A cup of something warm rests in your hands. The rain makes a soft pattern on the glass. You watch the pattern until it blurs into a calm that has no sharp edges. In this way, present care absorbs the noise. It does not shout. It becomes background. You become calmer. Finally, know this presence is not a performance. It is an invitation. It does not require proof. It allows rest at odd times. Tonight is one of those times. You are welcome to stay in this quiet room for as long as you need. I will remain here in voice a little longer. I will read when you want more. Later, we will sit with a short psalm and a quiet meditation on trust. For now, let the breath be slow. Let the body be still. Let the mind find its small harbor. Rest now. Let the night do its gentle work. I will see you in the next part, when we walk together through a short scripture reading and a reflection that moves toward hope. Until then, sleep in peace. I keep my voice low. I sit with the quiet that the psalm invites. Be still. Let that stillness reach the edges of the room. Let it reach the places inside you that have been noisy all day. I read these words slowly so the heart can hear them without hurry. Now we move into a careful place, a place to name what hurts, a place to set down what has been heavy. This is not a list for judgment. This is an honest tending. Remember the gentle promise found in another place. The promise says, do not be afraid. It says, a steady hand will hold you, and a strength will come to help. Those words are for tonight. Let them settle like a small stone in the palm of the mind. Begin with a breath. Inhale softly for 2 counts. Pause. Exhale for 4. Let the outs feel longer than the ins. Breathe into the space that holds ache. Breathe into the space that seems tight. With each exhale, picture the tightness loosening by a fraction. No need to fix it completely. Small loosening is enough for now. Bring attention to one hurt only. Choose the one that wants to be seen most tonight. Do not rush to name 1,000 things. Choose one small thing. It might be a worry about a relationship. It might be a tiredness that sits under the ribs. It might be shame you have carried for a long time. Whatever it is, bring it gently into the light. In your mind, imagine a small table beside you. The table is plain wood. It holds one object that represents the hurt. It might be a pebble, a small bag, a folded cloth. Choose the image that comes without forcing it. Set the object on the table. Notice its weight. Notice its color. Notice how it sits there without judgment. It is allowed to be what it is. I speak softly of a promise that comes to us as a steady companion. The promise assures presence. It says you are not facing this alone. It says strength will meet weakness. Let that assurance be a quiet fact. Hear it as a steady rhythm rather than a loud proclamation. The presence is near enough to touch. Rest a hand over the place that hurts and feel that nearness as warmth. If naming the hurt brings tears, let them fall. Tears are a natural language of the body. If a tightness clutches the throat, breathe into it. Do not push the feeling away. Receive it. The safest thing to do with a hard thing is to let it be seen. Seeing it does not make it larger. Often, seeing it makes it smaller. Now try a small practice of honesty. In your mind, state a single sentence about the hurt. Keep it short. Maybe, I am afraid they will leave, or my body is tired, or I feel I failed. Say it like a fact. No need to add explanation. No need to defend. A short, clear sentence frees energy that has been trapped in worry. Place that sentence beside the object on the table. Watch them sit together. Notice if your body changes. Does the jaw unclench a little? Do the shoulders shift? Sometimes simply speaking the truth gently unknots a thread. I invite a small image of support. Imagine a hand placed under the table. It is not a magic hand that erases everything. It is a steady hand that keeps the table from tipping. It reminds you that you are not holding the table alone. Let that image be a comfort. Feel it as a quiet pressure under the soles of your feet, or a soft weight at the base of the spine, or a warmth at the back of the heart. If words of Scripture come to mind, let them be a soft lamp. Remember the line about being still and knowing. Let that knowing be less of a concept and more of an experience. It is the sense that someone wise and kind watches without needing anything from you. That watching does not demand proof. It simply attends. Rest in that attending. Now place your hands on your chest. If that feels safe, let the palms shape a small shelter. Breathe into that shelter. Think of the hurt as a small creature that needs care. Speak to it with gentleness. Tell it one simple truth: you are seen. These words are not empty. The act of seeing makes a difference. It is a first step toward healing. If the hurt is too large to hold in one sitting, it is okay. Choose a corner of it. Name a single edge. Tend that edge. The rest can wait. Healing often comes in small, patient measures. Mercy can be like rain that drips slowly onto thirsty soil. The ground does not soak it all at once, but over time the soil becomes ready to hold life again. If memory is sharp tonight, do not try to force it away. Allow it to pass by like a bird at a window. Watch it. Notice the colors, the sound. Acknowledge it. Do not chase. Do not trap it. Let it fly on. The mind learns by simple witnessing. Witnessing changes the tone of memory, not by erasing, but by softening. I invite a brief exercise in rest-giving words. In silence, say one phrase to the place that hurts. Keep it tender. Maybe, may you be met, or may peace touch you, or may you know you are not alone. Let the phrase circle the hurt like a light. Do not try to solve the hurt. Let the words be an offering of presence. If anger is part of the hurt, give it a small container. Imagine a shallow dish where heat can cool. Place the heat into the dish. Watch it settle. Let the edges smooth. Anger that has room to rest often becomes clearer. It becomes a map rather than a burden. If regret is present, hold it with both hands. Tell it simply that you are learning. Confession here is gentle and private. It is a way to name what we wish had been different. It is not an attempt to erase decisions. It is a way to let them be understood by someone who cares. Let that recognition move a little weight from the shoulders. Picture now a small bandage of light. It is not a full cure. It is a tender covering that helps the place breathe. Place it over the hurt in your mind. Feel the soft warmth of the bandage. It is made of mercy. It does not hide the wound. It helps the skin to sit easier. Rest with that bandage for a few breaths. Let me read another quiet line aloud. In a voice that does not demand much, the line reminds that strength will be supplied where weakness exists. It speaks of an upholding that is not loud. It is steady. It is patient. Let that image feel like a chair waiting for tired knees. You may sit when you are ready. If shame presses tonight, try a small act of kindness to yourself. Place your hand on the forehead. Imagine sending a cool breath there. Think of a small phrase like, "You are human." Let that phrase be a soft, true thing. It does not excuse every choice. It simply recognizes the commonness of error. You are not the only one who carries this weight. Notice how the body answers when the mind accepts one small truth. The shoulders might drop. The jaw might relax. The breath might lengthen. These bodily changes are signals of safety. They do not mean the problem is gone. They mean the nervous system is allowed to rest. If a face or a person appears in the mind when you acknowledge the hurt, let it be there without interrogation. Offer a small blessing in silence for both you and the other person. Blessings are not a currency of justice. They are a way to let tension soften without forgetting the reality of pain. Now imagine a narrow path leading away from the center of the hurt. It does not erase the hurt. It simply means there is space to walk. Take one small step on that path. You do not need to run. Walk slowly. Feel the ground beneath the feet. Notice a breeze at the neck. Keep the steps small and gentle. Even one step can change the posture of the heart. I guide a short, simple prayer now. The prayer asks only for presence to meet pain. It asks for courage to name what needs naming. It asks for a steady help that arrives quietly. The words are few and plain. They are not a debate. They are a small offering. After the prayer, rest with the image of the object on the table. Imagine closing a hand around it and placing it in a box that sits at the foot of the bed. The box is not a prison. It is a storage place for tonight. You do not have to carry everything into sleep. You may leave some things for the morning. The box stays safe. If you prefer, imagine the box not at the foot of the bed, but in the palm of a strong, gentle hand. Let the hand hold the burden for a moment. Notice the relief that comes from a short transfer. It is not abandonment. It is trust. Trust makes room in the chest where breath can deepen. Before we end this part, offer one more gentle act. Think of one tiny kindness you can do for yourself tonight. Maybe it is a warm drink, or a soft blanket, or a small note of forgiveness written in the mind. Commit to that small kindness. Let it be a soft promise kept to yourself. I close with a blessing that is quiet and direct. May the hurts find a place to rest. May strength meet the places of weakness. May mercy sit with you like a lamp. May sleep come with a soft hand on the shoulder. Rest now. Let the breathing be slow. Let the images drift. I remain in voice for a few moments. When you are ready, we will continue to a short reading that moves toward hope and gentle trust. For now, be still and know that you are held. I sit with the room a moment longer. I keep my voice low and steady. I say a quiet line from Matthew in my own words. It speaks of a simple truth when we let go of the wrongs done to us. A kind of freedom follows. Forgiveness opens space inside us where fear used to live. It does not erase what happened. It loosens the hold those memories have on the heart. Tonight, I invite one small act, not a grand decision, just one small release. Choose one grievance to be the focus. Do not gather every hurt tonight. Pick the one that presses the most. Let it be enough. I ask you to breathe with me. Breathe in slowly for 3 counts. Hold lightly. Breathe out for 5. With each out-breath, imagine a thin thread loosening in the chest. The thread is not a rope. It is a delicate cord, tied to an old worry. Each breath unties one tiny knot. Now picture a dim bench under an old tree. The bench is worn in all the right places. It is not meant for drama. It is a place to set things down. In your mind, take the grievance you chose. Give it a shape that fits the feeling. Perhaps it is a small bundle tied with twine. Perhaps it is a tight knot of cloth. Perhaps it feels like the weight of a small stone. Do not make the image larger than it needs to be. Keep it modest. I tell you a small action to try. Walk slowly to the bench in your imagination. Lay the bundle on the wood. Feel the grain under your palms. Let the air be still for a breath. Notice how the body answers to the simple act of setting something down. The shoulders often drop. The jaw loosens. The breath lengthens. This is not forgetting. It is giving yourself a chance to rest from carrying. If it helps, imagine a hand approaching the bench. This hand is steady and gentle. It does not take the bundle to punish or to hide it away. It only holds it with care. Feel that steady presence near the place that has been sore. It is not a magic that erases the memory. It is a steady holding that says the burden need not be carried by you alone tonight. I speak plainly about what forgiveness is not. It is not permission for harm to continue. It is not the same as trust returned. Forgiveness can exist with wise boundaries. You can let go and also choose safety. You can forgive in your heart and still keep distance. Mercy does not demand that the same pattern repeat. There is a practice I offer now. In a quiet voice in your mind, say one short sentence about the person or the act. Keep it simple and factual. Maybe this hurt is real. Maybe I was wronged. Maybe I feel small. Speak it like a plain fact. No need to explain. No need to defend. Saying the fact can make the heart a little clearer. It can loosen fog. After you speak, imagine folding the bundle into a small, neat square. Tie the twine just enough so it holds. This is an act of intention. You are not pretending the thing did not matter. You are giving it a shape so it can be held somewhere safe for a time. Place the square at the center of the bench. Step back. Rest a palm on your own chest. Feel the rise and fall. Notice any slight change. If the idea of forgiveness feels too sharp tonight, do not press. Begin instead with a gentler wish. We do not always leap to full pardon. Sometimes we move one step toward peace. Say quietly, "May I have room to be whole." Say, "May the hurt find healing." These are small prayers that do not force reconciliation. They ask only for mercy to touch what is broken. I read again. Soft and slow. The reading is not a test. It is an invitation. It reminds us that forgiving others is linked to receiving forgiveness. I present it calmly. The offering is this: when mercy is given, it changes the giver. The heart grows lighter. This is the quiet promise you can lean into. Now let the notion of time be generous. Forgiveness is often a gentle tide, not a sudden flood. It may come in small washes. Accept that a single night does not make the whole repair. Tonight, take a small step. The rest may come slowly. And that is all right. I offer a sensory image for the letting go. Think of the grievance as a small paper folded into a tiny boat. The boat is delicate, not precious. Set it on a sun-warmed stone in your mind. It waits there. Safe. You do not push it away. You simply allow the boat to sit while you breathe. There is peace in the waiting. There is no rush to make the boat travel a great distance. If the person who hurt you appears in your mind, notice what comes without forcing a story. Look for one small fact. You can accept perhaps their name, perhaps the place, perhaps a memory of a single word. Hold that fact like a pebble between fingers. See how it feels, plain and solid, not a raging storm. This gentleness toward reality makes space for mercy that is not naive. I want to speak about boundaries again. Simply and kindly, forgiving does not mean opening doors that should remain shut. Forgiveness can be paired with clear boundaries that protect the heart. That protection is wise. It is not a refusal of mercy. It is care for the future. If a prayer feels right, offer a short one from the tucked place in the chest. Ask for help to let go of what you cannot change. Ask for courage to keep wise distance where needed. Ask for a calm heart to meet the day. Keep the words few. Keep the tone soft. There is a small exercise to close this practice. Find your hands. Lay them on the thighs or over the heart. Breathe in for 3. breathe out for 6. Longer and gentle. With each exhale, imagine the knot in the chest loosening by the fraction of a turn. Not every turn unties tonight. Some nights we only loosen. That is progress. Now imagine a lantern on the bench beside the bundle. Its light is warm and not too bright. Light casts small, steady circles. Let that lantern be the presence of mercy. It does not judge. It does not demand. It only offers light, so the place you set down can be seen by a kinder gaze. Watch how the light makes the knots look less menacing. Simply things to be mended in time. If forgiveness feels distant, try a small act of offering peace, not because the other asked or deserves it, but because peace restores the giver. In your mind, send a brief wish to the person who caused pain. May you be gently guided. This is not bargaining. It is a practice that loosens anger from the body and gives it back to the world in a softer form. Allow room for tears if they come. Tears are not a sign of weakness. They are a language of cleansing. Let them fall. Let the chest move with the release. If laughter comes, accept it too. Both are part of the same human stream. I remind you that forgiveness often returns like light after the storm. It does not always return the same way. Sometimes it appears as a soft acceptance, sometimes as a quiet release. Both are gentle miracles. Both are welcome. Now we prepare to rest deeper. Take one long, slow breath. Feel the shoulders ease. Imagine the bench gently fading in the mind. The bundle still there, but lighter. The lantern dims yet remains. The tree keeps watch. If a practical action feels right in the morning, plan it softly now. Perhaps a note to yourself, a short step to protect the heart, a boundary drawn kindly. Do not plan to punish. Plan to keep safe. Small actions often steady the soul more than grand gestures. I offer a brief closing blessing for this moment. May the small choice to loosen one knot be enough for tonight. May mercy meet you where you carry the heaviest part. May the strength you need find you without strain. May sleep come like a careful hand laying a blanket of calm across the shoulders. I remain with the room in voice for a few more breaths. Stay with the slow rise and fall. Let the images settle. When the body feels ready, allow the eyes to close. Let the breathing be gentle. Trust that rest can do its quiet work. Before I end, one last reminder. Forgiveness is a practice, not a performance. Be patient with the heart. It learns by small steps. Tonight's small step is enough. Sleep now. Lightly and in grace. I will be here again when you wake, or whenever you need a soft reading to steady the night. For now, rest in mercy. Good night. I settle into the room with the same slow breath I ask of the night. My voice moves like a gentle tide. I read to you as one who keeps watch. Tonight the passage I carry is not long. It lives as a single quiet sentence. In my mind, it says that grace comes as a gift. It arrives without a ledger. It asks nothing to be earned first. I speak that thought simply. Grace is given. It is not the result of a long performance. It is not a response to a perfect score. It is a hand laid on a shoulder because the shoulder is there. It is a warmth set beside the heart because the heart exists. The gift arrives whether the day was careful or careless. It comes in the small, sure way that love sometimes speaks. Picture a small parcel on a nightstand. The parcel has soft paper and a thin ribbon. A name is written there in a plain hand. The ribbon does not hold a secret of repayment. It only says, "This is for you." Walk your attention to that parcel. Feel the ordinary wood underfoot. A lamp throws a patch of low light. The room does not hum with demands. It simply invites. Lay a hand on the parcel. Notice the warmth of the paper. Notice the weight. It is not heavy. It is not feather-light either. The weight is right for the size of what it contains. Breathe into the place where the hand rests. Let the breath move into the ribs. Each inhalation is a small unpacking. Each out-breath is a loosening of the shoulders. I tell the passage again in plain words. The gift of grace is an act of pure love. It does not require a receipt. It is unconditional. Imagine receiving a cup of warm tea after a long day. Whether the hands that poured it know of your failings or not, the cup warms you. It does not ask for an account of the day. It simply gives warmth. Let the image of the cup sit in the palms. Feel the steam. Smell the subtle scent. Taste a softness you do not have to explain to deserve. This gift is like that. It warms the places that have grown tight from worry. It finds the small hollows where shame lives. It does not demand repair as a condition. It asks only to be accepted. I pause and breathe with the room. The rhythm is patient and steady. A slow reading of grace invites rest. It opens a different kind of space in the chest. That space is not empty. It is hospitable. It holds both the small mistakes and the quiet hopes. It makes room for both without collapsing under the weight. There is a gentle image I keep returning to. It is a seed held between two fingers. The seed looks ordinary, but contains possibility. If planted, it does not demand that the soil be perfect. It only wants a place to rest. Grace is like that seed. It carries future calm in a form that needs time and quiet to grow. Tonight's task is small. Let the seed sit in good soil. Let the soil be the slow breathing and the steady attention. Place the seed in the palm. Close the fingers around it. Do not squeeze. Hold it as if cradling a small bird. Say nothing. The act of holding is already a receiving. Feel the warmth travel through the skin into the bones. This warmth is not earned by labor. It arrives because someone chose to give. If a mind urges proof, give it a gentle permission to rest. Proof can come later. Tonight's truth is the presence of the gift. It can be touched, even if only in the imagination. To touch it is to allow mercy to be present without argument. Let the mind watch the feeling like a quiet tide pulling back and forth. There is a simple practice to help receiving. Place both hands over the heart. Keep them light. Breathe slowly. Imagine a small ribbon being untied at the chest. Each breath loosens the knot by one small twist. Do this for 5 breaths. With each out-breath, the ribbon loosens a fraction more. The gift under the ribbon breathes freely for a moment with every loosening. When the ribbon lies open, Imagine the parcel sliding into the hands. Unwrap slowly. Remove one layer at a time. Each layer reveals a word, not a sermon. The first layer might show the word enough. The next might show known. The next might show held. These are not instructions to fix everything. They are gentle truths to rest on. Allow each word to touch the chest like a small stone laid there by a friend. If resistance comes, do not force the hands. Take one layer, then pause. Let the pause be long enough for the body to respond. Often, a single, soft truth settles more surely than many explanations. The quiet word, enough, often loosens a jaw. Known softens the back. Held eases the shoulders. I read the idea of gift again in plain terms. Grace is not a reward for good behavior. It is not a calculation. It is a thoughtful giving offered in the midst of human imperfection. That offering is not naive. It is steady. It meets the broken places without pretending they were never there. There is a small breathing exercise that pairs well with this image. Inhale for 3. Hold for 1. Exhale for 5. Picture the gift settling deeper with each long out-breath. The chest is the place of receiving. Let the lungs carry the offering inward. With every extended exhale, imagine the gift finding a proper place to rest. Now consider a short confession, offered like a light, not a long list. Just one thing that stirs at the edges tonight. Bring it into the small space where the gift sits. Tell it softly that a gift is present. The confession does not earn the gift. It names the need the gift came to meet. Saying it aloud in the heart often diminishes the darkness around it. If thoughts try to bargain, quiet them with the lamp on the nightstand. Imagine the lamp as mercy's small envoy. It does not debate. It only reveals the immediate edges and makes them softer. Let the lamp show the parcel on the table clearly. Notice the ribbon, the weight, the label. Seeing these things plainly makes receiving simpler. Grace, as a gift, also invites a gentle response over time. It does not coerce. It prompts a soft gratitude that acts slowly. Imagine a small plant placed near the window. A morning watering is a tiny response. It does not repay the plant for existing. It helps the plant grow into its calling. Gratitude often looks like small, steady acts, not grand gestures. For tonight, the response asked is simple. Rest with the gift. Keep the hands near the heart. Let the warmth spread. If sleep comes, let the gift be the pillow under the head of dreams. If the night remains wakeful, let the gift be the companion in the dark. Hear the quiet of the room, not as accusation, but as a gentle reminder that mercy continues to wait. I offer a brief practice of letting the gift go to work in the background. Imagine placing the parcel on the windowsill, where moonlight can touch it. The moon is a patient witness. The parcel does not need to be opened by force. It can sit while stars move and breathe. Leave it there tonight. Trust that gifts kept in calm places slowly do their work. There is comfort in knowing this gift follows a rhythm, not a sprint. It meets the small failures and the long ones. It does not tally. It does not withdraw when flaws are present. Allow the heart to learn this as a slow lesson. Lessons taught gently are often the ones that last. Before closing, I invite a tiny act of gratitude. Think of one small kindness that came today. It could be a warm cup, a brief smile, a plain task done well. Picture placing that kindness into the parcel as a token. It changes nothing about the nature of the gift. It simply recognizes how small mercies often come together. The parcel feels a little lighter. Now, a short, soft prayer of receiving. It is not ornate. It is a simple turning of the palms toward what has been given. Ask for the courage to rest in the gift without earning it. Ask for calm, to let the gift unfold over time. Keep the words few and plain. I finish this part with a quiet blessing. May the gift of grace find a room within that has been closed. May it sit with the tiredness and the hope both. May the hands that hold tonight be gentle with the self that needs gentleness. May rest come as a steady friend. May sleep arrive without performance. I remain in voice a few breaths longer. The parcel stays on the windowsill. The lamp fades to softer light. The breath becomes slow and even. When the mind drifts, let it return to the simple image of the gift. Let receiving be enough for this hour. We move forward tomorrow with the next gentle step. For now, rest in the simple fact of the gift. Let it be a quiet companion into sleep. Good night. I come close in the hush of this hour. I sit with you as the room grows quiet. My voice is low. My words move like soft steps across a wooden floor. Tonight I bring a short passage to rest beside us. I read it slowly. Not to teach, but to tend. I speak a paraphrase of a line that has comforted many. It says that peace comes through a brave offering. It says that wounds were taken so healing could follow. It says that from what was broken, a gentle calm is born. Hear it as a simple fact. Let the meaning be more a felt thing than a concept. Imagine now a gentle tide of peace. It begins at the chest. It is not loud. It is not demanding. It arrives like warmth from a hearth on a cold evening. The warmth is steady. It does not scorch. It does not insist. It simply holds. Breathe with me. Breathe in twice. Slow and quiet. Hold for a soft count. Breathe out for 4. Each out-breath lengthens like a slow walk. With each exhale, imagine the tide of peace moving a little wider across the body. It moves like a soft veil, smoothing the edges where tension gathers. The passage I read tells of a kindness that carried cost. It is not a story of drama for its own sake. It is a story of care. The care meets what is hurting. It does not require a long list of reasons. It simply offers presence. Picture that care is a warm cloth laid across a weary forehead. It smells faintly of cedar and rain. The cloth cools what burns and steadies what shakes. Place a hand over the heart. Feel the evenness of the ribs. Let the fingers rest lightly. Do not press. Let the hand be a gentle hill for the breath to roll over. With every breath, the hand feels the small movement. Let that movement remind you that peace is not absence of feeling. It is a companion that sits with feeling. Now move the attention to the shoulders. Notice any small tightness there. Picture the tide of peace pooling at the top of each shoulder. It pools like warm honey but moves with ease. The warmth loosens the hold. Muscles let go a fraction. The jaw softens. The throat loosens. This is not a hurry to fix. It is a patient presence that invites the body to remember how to rest. Think of a narrow stream at night. The stream runs steady under low moonlight. Stones sit in the water, smoothed by time. Each stone bears a quiet history. The water does not erase the stones. It only passes over them and makes them less sharp to the touch. Imagine the tide of peace flowing over the stones inside you. It does not demand that they vanish. It simply makes their edges easier to bear. If a memory presses, hold it softly in the mind. Do not examine it like a microscope. Hold it like a small glass jar set on a windowsill. The light touches it. The jar keeps its shape. In the same way, the memory keeps its shape. The tide of peace reaches it and makes the glass warm. Warm glass feels less brittle. I invite a short practice of naming. In your mind, speak one word that names the place you most want healed tonight. Keep it simple. Maybe the word is tired, or lonely, or effrel. Say it once. Do not explain. Let the word be like a bell rung softly in a chapel. The sound sits in the room. It does not echo with accusation. It simply rings. After the bell, picture a blanket of light unfurling slowly from the space at the heart. The blanket is thin and warm. It is woven from something like fine linen and something like quiet. It stretches over the shoulders, then across the arms, then down the torso. The weight is right. It steadies. It does not smother. It keeps a gentle pressure that invites muscles to settle. Breathe in 3 easy counts. Hold for the briefest beat. Breathe out 6. As the blanket settles, imagine small seams of peace, stitching themselves gently through the places that have frayed. The seams are not tidy stitches that pretend nothing happened. They are careful loops that hold edges together while the fabric rests. If a place in the body resists the blanket, do not force it. Let the edges of the blanket be soft. Let the fabric find the places that most welcome warmth. Sometimes the smallest area that yields gives relief to the entire posture. Find that place in the body. Set the blanket there first. Let the rest follow if it chooses. I read to you the sense of the passage again. It tells that suffering was carried, so peace might come near. Think of that closeness not as a lesson to be earned. Think of it as a gift set at your feet. You do not have to climb to reach it. You only have to lie down and allow the gift to fold around you. Now bring attention to the lung. See them as bellows that move slowly. Each breath fans the warmth deeper. The out-breath takes some of the ache with it. Picture each out-breath removing one small thorn. The thorns are not the whole tree. They are small things that prick. Let the breath pull them gently free. If shame or regret rises, name it softly. A single sentence will do. I have felt this. I feel this. I bring it here. The sentence is short and plain. It does not try to fix the past. It gives the present a voice. Saying it aloud in the mind often lessens the sting. The peace that comes through the offering shelters the saying. I invite now a short visualization that is slow and simple. Imagine a small room with a low ceiling. The room is lit by a muted glow. A single chair sits in the center. The chair is simple and forgiving. You sit. The air in the room is warm and still. The person who offered healing comes and sits in a quiet corner. They do not speak. Their posture is simply steady. Their presence says the work of making peace has already begun. Feel the room. Feel the presence. Nothing dramatic happens. The simple act of being seen begins to mend small fissures. There is a comforting touch here. It is not invasive. It is like the weight of a hand placed alongside your own on a book. It is a reminder that someone keeps watch without needing proof. Breathe in that reminder. Let it sink like a soft stone into the chest. If sleep feels distant, let the peace sit like a soft companion in the chair. It does not demand you sleep. It only stays while you remain. The night can be a friend who waits, rather than a judge, who measures. Rest in that friendship. Now I guide a brief movement for the hands. Place them where they feel best. Let the thumbs rest near the sternum. Let the fingers spread wide and easy. When the hands relax, the shoulders often follow. Keep the hands there like a gentle anchor. The anchor does not tie you in. It steadies the body so the breath can travel more freely. Consider a small image of healing as a whisper rather than a shout. A whisper moves across a room and shifts the dust. It changes the breath without startling the air. Let the healing breathe like that whisper. It moves through the ribs, around the liver, along the spine. It does not rush. It stays long enough to be noticed. If pain is more than a whisper, meet it with kindness. Do not tell it to be smaller. Offer it a small phrase, may you have ease. This is not magic. It is a way of turning attention from accusation to care. Sometimes attention dressed in kindness begins to change the way the nervous system holds pain. I read another small line in my mind. The line says that peace can be a garment wrapped around the weary. It calls the garment rest. Rest is not a punishment. It is a place where the body and the heart can recover strength. Imagine putting on that garment now. Feel the seams at the shoulders. Feel the hood if you like. The fabric breathes with you. We practice a slow breath pattern again. Inhale for 3. Hold for 1. Exhale for 6. Each exhale lengthens the fabric's reach. Each inhale invites the garment to mold to the shape it covers. Keep the rhythm gentle. If counting fades, return to the length of the out-breath more than the exact numbers. The aim is ease. If tears come, allow them. They are part of the way the heart softens. If laughter springs up, welcome it too. Both clear space. Both are honest languages that let peace take hold. I remind you that the peace I speak of is not an argument. It is not a debate about worthiness. It is a simple offering. The offering stands because someone chose to bring it near. That choice is not withdrawn because doubt arrives. The choice remains. Rest in that steadiness. Now I ask you to imagine a small, safe chest by the foot of the bed. It is plain and well made. The chest holds pieces of the day that must wait. Place one small thing into the chest tonight. Perhaps it is a worry, or a plan, or a need for courage. Place it inside with a quiet word. Not now. The chest is not denial. It is an act of trust. It recognizes that the night is for healing. The chores can wait. Close the chest lid in your mind gently. Hear the soft click. Know that what you set inside is not lost. It rests. It will be there for a clearer morning. For now, the tide of peace can move without having to balance too many loads. I offer a short prayer in my own plain voice. I do not make long arguments. I ask that the peace, born through a costly kindness, may wrap around the places that ache. I ask that mercy find the small fractures and make them safe to breathe. The prayer is light and direct. It is offered as a hand rather than a sermon. Before I close this part, take one more long breath with me. Breathe in a slow, steady inhale. Hold the softest moment. Breathe out long and slow. Feel the warmth of the heart. Notice how it sits like a small, steady fire. You are not asked to carry it. You are invited to rest beside it. I lay a blessing here gently. May the peace that came through the offering find room in your rest. May the places that ache feel the steadiness of a gentle hand. May sleep come as a quiet arrival, not as an achievement. May you wake with small courage and soft hope. I remain with the quiet for a few slow breaths longer. When you drift, know that this voice keeps watch in memory. Tomorrow, I will read another short passage. For now, let the peace wrap you. Let the night be tender. Good night. Tonight I sit closer and tell a story that has been like a lamp for a friend. I tell it low and plain. The tale comes from a passage I have read many nights. But tonight it sits inside a small human life that I know. It is the one about coming home. It is a story of returning. It is a story of grace in action. A friend once left the place. Everyone expected them to stay. The leaving was not sudden for those who watched. It was a slow drift at first. New streets felt like freedom. New footage felt like possibility. The lights of the town seemed to promise a life fuller than the careful patterns at home. The friend chose a different air. The choice felt urgent. It felt right at the moment. What followed is familiar. Joy becomes a quick thing. The world asks for something back. Money thins. Words that were easy become scarce. Support loosens. A season of small losses slides into a time of true need. Work becomes plain labor with little reward. Pride grows quiet. Hunger arrives in ways that have little to do with food and more to do with belonging. In that thin space, a memory returns. It is not a sharp sermon. It is the memory of a voice by the bedside, the slow reading of a familiar story. I remember sitting nearby and reading. The voice is steady and even. The words I read are simple and steady. The friend hears them. The lines speak not of punishment, but of waiting and welcome. That waiting becomes important in the long nights. The decision to return is not dramatic. It is private. It comes like a small knot untying. One morning the friend rises with the weight of the morning pressing in. There is no plan for grand entrances. There is only a quiet want to go toward a door that once opened without a ledger. The heart wants what it once had. and feared it could not have again. Walking home is slow. Each step brings memories. The mind rehearses excuses and fears. The thought that love could be withdrawn sits heavy. The friend imagines being turned away. The thought of shame keeps feet from moving. Still. The steps continue. The path back is not empty of risk. It asks for courage that is only small at first. It asks for honesty that will arrive in time. What happens next is the heart of the story. The one who waits at home does not tally offenses in the way the world expects. The waiting figure notices the returning shape from far off and moves not with a checklist, but with a body that knows welcome. The reaction is immediate and tender. There is no long interrogation. There is a soft rushing forward. Arms gather without condition. A robe is placed carefully. Hands repair the broken tenderness of a day. Bread is set where hunger is true. The home fills with simple sounds of repair. A chair pulled close. The clink of dishes. A low scrape of a table cleaned for use. The friend feels the warmth like a sudden light under a cool blanket. Tears come, not because shame evaporates, but because the receiving hand is real. The voice that once read scripture at night is quiet then. Listening, there is no triumphant lesson. There is only the clear fact of being met. The friend finds it possible to breathe. Years of running loosen one small thread at a time. An elder sibling is in the story too. That sibling had stayed. The sibling kept the tasks that waiting requires. The sight of the rejoicing feels like something unfair. Quiet anger sits at the edges. The sibling counts what was carried. A careful heart must learn how to hold both grief and mercy at once. The story does not smooth this over quickly. It names that fairness and mercy can feel like strange companions. Both have a place in the room that night. The friend learns something small and large at once. Forgiveness is not a sign that the past is ignored. It is a hands-on remedy. It has weight. It speaks through the smell of bread and the pressing of a cloak around shoulders. The forgiveness that arrives is not a lecture. It is work. It is the slow gathering of crumbs and the steady mending of hems. To be forgiven in that way is to become allowed to be small and afraid and still seen. I watch this and listen. I read the verses that spoke of a father who leaves the fields and runs toward a child. And I keep the reading gentle. The friend rests in the story and in the real arms that echo that story. To be forgiven is to be invited back into the simple chores of being sitting, eating, sleeping, speaking in small, honest sentences. These acts, ordinary and quiet, form the slow architecture of healing. There is a fear, after such an embrace, that the same patterns will repeat. The moment of welcome does not require an immediate promise to change. It allows an honest pause. A patient welcome does not force a return to old ways that harmed. It opens a space where new habits might slowly take shape. Tend the habit of small acts, like a hand that sets a cup down carefully. Tend them and see the shape of life shift. The friend keeps learning to accept help. At first, pride resists. Pride asks, what if the same error repeats? The answer is not found in a confrontation, but in a meal shared. The father in the story gives a ring, a sign of belonging. In real life, the signs are simpler. a fixed bed, a steady job offered again, a brother or sister who listens without immediately listing faults. These signs invite trust to be built slowly. Forgiveness changes the one who forgives as well. The sibling who stayed must consider the cost of mercy. Mercy asks not for performance, but for patience. Resentment loosens its grip when real care arrives. The sibling sees the work of mending as a different labor than the labor of resentment. It is quiet. It asks for a steady gaze. It accepts that healing can be slower than anger wants. The friend's nights begin to alter. Sleep comes more easily when the chest is not a ledger. The preaching voice from outside no longer defines worth. Instead, breath and the rhythm of simple tasks become a new script. The story read at bedtime becomes less of a lesson and more of a mirror. The scenes fit into the sleeping hours. The images of bread and cloak and feet, eased by a welcome, translate into a soft knowing in the bones. The heart moves from fleeing to staying, from hiding to being seen. There are moments of backslide. Old habits show themselves at odd hours. The friend stumbles. The family meets this with a firmness that is not harsh. There are gentle boundaries placed where protection is necessary. Boundaries and welcome live beside one another. The lesson is that mercy does not remove wisdom. Mercy and prudence can share the same room. One late night, the friend and I sit where light is a small pool on the table. The Bible rests nearby. The story of the one who returned sits there like a map. I read it aloud slowly. No dramatic voice. No sermon tone. Just the plain telling. The friend listens and repeats quietly some of the phrases in the mind. They say them like prayers. The real change is not sudden. It grows like the careful watering of a thirsty plant. Grace in action looks like this. It is not a slogan. It is a set of quiet steps. It is choosing to make food for someone who has none. It is training one's eyes to meet without counting faults. It is setting a place at the table, even when anger still sits at it. It is learning to hope one small breath at a time. The friend discovers that returning home is possible because someone already keeps the door unlatched. In the days that follow, small duties anchor the friend. Mornings are for work that takes care of others. Evenings are for quiet conversation that is honest and short. There is less grand speaking and more simple listening. The friend begins to sleep with less fear. Dreams are quieter. The chest unclenches. The body remembers how to lay down. This story is not only for the friend. It is for anyone who worries that the door has closed. The tale offers a simple truth. Home is a place where grace waits. The waiting is patient. It does not pressure. It does not demand a perfect report. It asks only for a step taken toward it. That step does not have to be large. A small admission of need is enough to begin the journey. As I read this story aloud to you now, imagine the soft lamplight of a kitchen. Hear the scrape of a chair. Smell warm bread. Watch a hand set a small bowl in front of someone who has not eaten. Feel the small, unconditional welcome that follows. Let the image rest like a soft stone on the palm of the mind. There is a promise here that is gentle, not harsh. It is the promise that mercy will meet the one who returns. Mercy is never a cold ledger. Mercy has texture. It has smell and warmth. It has the feel of clean linens and steady work. To receive it is to be allowed to begin again in slow, human ways. If the heart pauses at pride or fear, let it breathe. This story holds space for uncertainty. It does not scold the hesitant. The friends stayed small at first. The steps were not dramatic. They were faithful in the way a seed is faithful when it leans toward the sun. Even the smallest motion toward home invites welcome. Tonight, as I finish this part of the reading, place attention on the breath. Let it be easy and even. Let the story of returning sit like a small, warm memory near the heart. Know this plainly. The option to turn back is always available. The door waits. The welcome is patient. Grace is not earned by perfect action. It arrives when someone chooses to receive. I close with a short, quiet prayer. It asks for courage for small steps. It asks for the calm to rest in invitations to return. It asks for hearts that can both forgive and hold wise boundaries. The prayer is not long. It is a simple bending toward mercy. May the knowledge of welcome settle into sleep. May the body relax as the mind learns. A small truth coming home can be the bravest thing. May rest come like a warm cloak around tired shoulders. I stay in the room with this soft voice a little longer. When breathing slows and the eyes close, the story remains a light at the edge of dream. Good night. I sit with you now. My voice is near and slow. The room breathes with us. Listen first to a simple welcome. It is not urgent. It is soft. It invites the tired to come. Come with worn hands. Come with a heart that carries weight. Lay down what presses. Rest here for a while. Imagine the invitation like a warm palm at your shoulder. The palm is kind. It is steady. It does not pry. It offers a place to lean. Bring your attention to the chest. Feel the rib cage lift and fall. Let the shoulders loose a little more. Breathe with me. Inhale for 2 counts. Pause. Exhale for 4. Each exhale asks the body to give up a little more of its tightness. The breath becomes a small boat, carrying away small loads. Now picture 2 hands. They are large enough to hold what you carry. They are gentle. They move as if they know how to cradle small things. A sleeping child. A broken cup. A bandage. These hands come close and cup the places that hurt. They do not demand explanation. They only make room with each breath. See the hands, trace the outline of worry. They do not fix everything at once. They lay a gentle touch where the chest feels tight. Worry loosens like frost under sun. The frost does not vanish in one moment. It softens and slides away. A small thaw begins. Hear a quiet promise in the touch. Not an abstract idea, a whisper that soothes more than it argues. It says you need not carry this now. Rest here. Allow help. The promise is not loud. It is a patient word that repeats softly until the heart remembers it. Place a hand where it feels most hungry for calm. If that is the heart, rest the palm there. If it is the belly, let the fingers rest there. Let the touch be steady. Let the warmth spread like tea, warming from the cup into the body. Think of a scene where burdens are unwrapped slowly. A traveler arrives at night. Dust clings to clothes. A lamp is lit. Someone takes the cloak and shakes it out. No questions. No ledger. Just hands that remove grit and replace weariness with a blanket. Imagine the cloak laid aside and a warm cloth placed upon the forehead. The cloth cools the fever. The traveler breathes more easily. Now move gently to a small visualization of release. Picture each worry as a leaf. Not a heavy log, a leaf. Hold one leaf. See its color. Notice its edges. When you are ready, let it fall. Watch it spin. It touches the water and drifts. Watch another leaf. Place it on the water. See the little movement it makes. You are not asked to clear the whole river. You are given permission to set down one leaf now. The hands that I described are steady through all of this. They do not flinch at what they hold. They cradle mistakes and small sorrows. They press no shame into the wound. They only offer space to rest and to breathe. As the hands keep their gentle work, notice how the body responds. The jaw relaxes. The back softens. The shoulders fall like curtains dropping. A small sound of relief can be as plain as a sigh. Let the sigh happen. It is part of the letting go. I return in my mind to a quiet line about rest. It addresses the heavy. It invites the burdened to come close and find ease. Hear this invitation not as an instruction to be perfect. Hear it as a shelter offered in the dark. Shelter does not erase the storm. It simply keeps a dry place to stand until the rain passes. There is a practice I share now. Close the eyes if that feels safe. Rest the hand over the chest. Breathe in gently. As the breath comes in, imagine the hands I describe lifting a word into the air. The word might be ease, or rest, or hear. Say it softly in the mind as the breath moves out. Repeat 3 times. Let the word sink into the chest like a pebble dropped into warm water. If the mind wanders, do not scold it. Minds move like moths. Shape the wandering into a gentle return. Bring attention back to the palm on the chest. Feel the pulse beneath the skin. The pulse is rhythm. It keeps time without demanding a performance. Lay next to that rhythm and let the world slow to its tempo. Now, I read to you from the place of Psalms. Where the heart finds many shapes of comfort, the Psalms are not one form. They are a collection of small rooms. Some rooms are quiet. Some are raw with grief. Some are bright with thanks. Tonight, we sit in the quieter rooms. We let their words wash like a steady tide. Imagine a shelter in the text of the Psalms. It is like a shaded courtyard at noon. The sun is strong, but the shade offers relief. Plants breathe easier under the eaves. This shelter is not grand. It is humble. It is enough. It keeps the heat away for a little while. Another image from the Psalms is of a watchman. The watchman keeps vigil at night. He does not sleep deeply when others are restless. He sits and listens. His attention is small and careful. Picture a watchman leaning on the rail. Eyes soft from hours of quiet. He keeps watch because he cares. His presence itself is healing. In a different psalm, there is a voice that speaks of being known intimately, not in a way that exposes for shame. Instead, it is the knowledge that helps. To be known in that manner is to be seen and still held. Imagine a pair of hands tracing the lines of your life as if reading a map. The tracing does not judge. It offers direction back to rest. The Psalms also name storm and shelter together. A night might be loud with wind. The psalmist's words do not pretend the wind is kind. They say truth plainly. Then they add the promise of a refuge. Both facts sit side by side. Pain is acknowledged. Presence surrounds it. This pairing allows the heart to sit with both sorrow and solace at once. Try a short exercise with the psalm images. Think of one line from a psalm that feels like a lamp. It may be a line about being kept safe, or about a small song in the night, or about a steady hand. Hold that image in the mind like a candle. Let its light be small but steady. If darkness edges close, let the candle show the near things so they are not frightening. The candle does not chase every shadow. It highlights the path. If memories press like tight knots, bring one into the psalm's shelter. Put the knot down on a small table in the room. Do not unravel it yet. Allow the shelter to be present around it. Notice if the knot seems less sharp simply because someone keeps watch nearby. Comfort often arrives first as company. The pain grows quieter in the presence of care. There is a psalm that speaks of songs rising even in the night. Songs are small offerings. They do not erase grief. They add rhythm to it. If the throat feels full tonight, imagine a soft song, not loud enough to wake the walls. Let the internal song hum alongside the breath. It stitches small moments of peace together. Now I invite breath with the Psalms. Inhale with the sense of being sheltered. Hold for the smallest beat. Exhale with the sense of being watched over. Each cycle of breath brings the Psalms' images inward. The practice is not a test. It is a way to tuck comfort into the body. If sleep seems far, read a short verse in the heart from a psalm. Let it be a line about being kept through the night or about mercy that shelters. Repeat it slowly. Let each repetition be a slow step toward calm. There is no need to memorize. The aim is to let the rhythm of the words match the rhythm of breath. Sometimes the Psalms ask for courage. Sometimes they give it when courage feels small. The Psalms' steady phrases act like anchors. They do not demand a great leap. They simply say, stay, breathe, and do the next small thing. Courage often grows this way, in careful increments. Offer one small confession now, not a long list. Just a single truth you carry. Say it in the mind with no accusation. Then place that truth near the shelter of the Psalm's words. Let the presence of mercy sit next to it. Notice if the weight feels a fraction lighter. Often, putting a thing into language loosens its grip. If tears come, receive them kindly. Many psalms are full of tears. They are honest about sorrow. Tears are part of the psalmic language. They are not failure. They are part of the tide that moves toward calm. If laughter comes, welcome it too. Both are honest responses to being seen. Think now of quiet mercy that mends. The Psalms do not always speak of grand miracles. Often they speak of small repairs, a mended footstep, a healed sigh, sleep that returns. Picture a seamstress at a small table, stitching a garment by low lamplight. Each stitch is careful. Each stitch brings the fabric back to usefulness. Healing sometimes looks like that stitch work. It is slow, patient, and tender. There is a brief practice of gratitude tied to the Psalms. Name 3 small things that felt gentle today. A warm drink, a smile that lingered a second longer than usual, a moment of silence that comforted. Place each thing like a small pebble in your palm. Feel the texture. Let them rest as small gifts the night can keep. As the psalm images settle, imagine a hand of light passing slowly over the places that ache. The light does not erase scars. It softens their edges. It draws a safe map of where to step next. Let the hand pass again and again. Each pass is a kind gesture, a promise that care does not stop at a single touch. Now prepare to rest further. Place hands where they are most comfortable. Allow the breath to lengthen. Keep the mind within the shelter of the Psalms and the cradling of the hands. Let the images be soft companions as the body unwinds. I offer a short, simple blessing now. May the weary find rest. May hands of mercy hold the places that feel raw. May the Psalms be a small lamp beside the bed. May sleep come slowly, like a tide that does not rush, but covers steadily. May the morning arrive with new patience. I remain in voice for a few slow breaths. When your eyes close, let this room stay with you. The hands, the shelter, the watchful presence they do not leave. They keep vigil while the night does its gentle work. In the next part, we will sit with a short psalm and a quiet invitation to trust. For now, rest in the healing touch and the steady comfort these words bring. Good night. I sit with the light low and the room tuned small. I open a passage that has lived like a quiet path for many nights. I speak it slowly, shaping a gentle image. The shepherd comes first. I do not read the words exactly. I say them in a soft way that fits the hour. The shepherd knows each step. The shepherd knows the small shape of every foot. He leads to places where the grass bends easy and the sound of water is calm. Picture a wide field after rain. The grass smells green. It bends under a careful tread. The feet that walk there have no hurry. The pace is measured. The shepherd does not push. He guides. We follow that gentle lead. The path the shepherd chooses moves away from sharp stones. It moves towards softer ground. The air is cooler there. The chest eases. Imagine lying at the edge of a stream. The water moves without fuss. You cannot see its hard work. The current simply keeps the world in a small motion that is steady and quiet. The shepherd pauses so the flock can drink in that hush. Breathe with me now. Inhale slowly. Hold the pause like a soft knock on a door. Exhale. Long and even. Each breath is a small step toward looseness. With every out-breath picture, a knot unwinding in the hands. The day's tightness loosens bead by bead. It is enough for tonight to let one knot fall, the shepherd does another small thing. He makes room for rest. He does not demand a report of deeds done. He does not ask for a ledger of mistakes. He offers a place to lie down. The ground there is plain and warm. A low breeze passes. The chest does not have to be a storehouse of answers. It can be a place where breathing resumes a slow, easy rhythm. Think of the shepherd's staff as steadiness, more than control. The staff points the way. It steadies a step that might falter. It is not a rod of blame. It is a hand offered for balance. The shepherd walks close enough to touch the shoulder. That closeness is practical. It simply helps when feet miss their mark in the dark. As evening gathers, the shepherd shifts the pace again. The light thins. Soft shadows gather under trees. The shepherd's voice remains calm. He does not rush the night. He guides toward shelter that is not bright, but sufficient. The shelter keeps out cold wind and allows the heart to quiet. Imagine a small room with the door open to a quiet field. A lamp burns low inside. The lamp is steady. The room smells faintly of wood smoke. The lamp's glow is enough to keep fear from crowding. Now imagine a small wind that carries no cold. It is a soft breath that moves from the room into the chest. The wind does not blow things away. It only passes through and leaves a tenderness in its path. Picture that wind touching the ribs and then slowing inside the heart. It rests there like a slow bird on a fence. Small and steady, place a hand where it best comforts you. The hand may go to the chest, the belly, or to the place that aches the most. Rest it there without pressure. Feel the warmth of the palm. Let the warmth be an answer to the night's coolness. Each breath moves under the palm like a small tide. Notice the pulse, if it is easy to feel. Let that rhythm be a metronome for calm. I speak now in very plain terms. This comforter comes not to fix a ledger. It comes to be with the wounded places. It is a presence that mends by remaining near. Imagine a quiet attendant who sits without interrupting. The attendant watches the breath and keeps the lamp warm. That watchfulness is the essence of what I ask you to imagine. If it helps, picture a small room inside the chest. The room has a low window and soft cushions. It smells faintly of cedar and fresh water. The comforter sits there, trimming the wick of the lamp and folding a blanket. No grand words are exchanged. The act itself is gentle invitation. The presence makes the room safe enough for quiet things to happen. Now a short breathing pattern. Inhale for 3 soft counts. Hold the breath like a small pause. Exhale for 6. Let each exhale be a little longer than the last. As the breath lengthens, imagine a thread of light that connects the chest to the room beside you. The thread is not a line of force. It is a soft cord of companionship. Each out-breath loosens the cord a little more, until it feels natural to lean in. If a prayer feels right, speak one quietly in the mind. Keep it simple. Do not try to construct theology. Offer a short request for comfort. Offer thanks for what you have already received. The prayer is a small turning of the palms. It is a way to make the inner invitation explicit. In the minutes that follow, I will remain quietly in this voice. I will not hurry you. I will let the room hold the image of the Comforter. The presence you invite is not a demand. It is a gift that waits. You can lean into it for as long as you need. I offer a closing image. Picture a small lamp left on a table through the night. Someone keeps watch with it. The lamp does not need to blaze. Its light is steady. It is enough to see the immediate step. Let that lamp be the presence we have called. Let it be small. Let it be near. Let it keep vigil while the body learns to rest. Before I close this part, place your hand once more upon the chest, or where comfort is most welcome. Breathe slowly. Feel the palm's warmth. If sleep comes, let the presence remain in imagination. If wakefulness lingers, let the lamp be company. In the morning, small tasks will meet again. Tonight, accept the simple fact of being accompanied. I close with a gentle blessing. May a steady comfort touch the places that ache. May the presence that slips into the night stay near enough to quiet the breath. May the heart find one small page of peace. I will remain here in voice for a moment longer. When you are ready, rest. When you wake, we will read again together. For now, good night. I come close in the hush. My voice is low and steady. I sit with the Bible open on my lap. The lamp throws a soft circle of light. The rest of the room holds its breath. Tonight I read a short promise, and let it be a song. I do not quote it word for word. I shape it into a lullaby. The promise says this: when you lie down, you may sleep in peace. It says safety surrounds the one who rests. I say it slowly, so the words can pour like warm milk. They are meant to soothe, not to argue. Listen with me. Hear the line as a soft refrain. It is a small truth. It does not demand that everything is fixed. It only offers a calm fact. You may lie down. You may sleep. Peace will find the places that ache. Imagine now a room made for rest. The ceiling is low. A thin shawl drapes over a chair. The window shows a few soft stars. Outside, the night breathes slowly. Inside, the bed welcomes the body. The room is gentle enough for small things to happen. It holds time like a cup holds tea. I hum a little tune as I read. The tune is simple. It has 3 notes that bend like a willow. Humming helps the chest find a steady rhythm. Tune and breath begin to match. The sound is hardly a sound. It is more a feeling behind the ears. Let that feeling sit with you. Think of a child asleep with a small hand over the heart. The hand is safe and warm. A parent's hum moves near the ear. The child does not need to explain the day. The child needs the sound that says, "You are safe." Let the promise tonight be that same gentle hum. Let it come not as instruction but as a small presence. Breathe with me now. Inhale for 2 counts. Hold for 1. Exhale for 4. As the out-breath lengthens, imagine the lullaby wrapping one more time around the chest. Each round of breath ties a small knot of calm. The knot is not tight. It simply keeps the edges from fraying. I ask you to notice a place in the body that wants a softer touch. It might be the shoulders. It might be a hollow under the ribs. Rest a hand there if it helps. The warmth of the hand is like a small lamp. The lamp does not burn. It only makes the immediate space more kind. Let the lamp be enough for now. When I read the promise again, I give it a new image. Picture a shepherd who notes when night falls. The shepherd makes sure the flock lies down where the grass is soft. He checks each gate. He hums while he works. The hum is not wasted on the sheep. It steadies them. The shepherd's care is practical. It is the slow tending of small things. Turn the idea of the shepherd into a lullaby hand. Imagine a hand that comes near and tucks in the blankets. The hand is not perfect. It has scars and knuckles that show work. It does what it can. That is enough. The hand says, rest. It says, I am here. There is a practice I offer for this moment. Gather one short phrase in the mind. Make it no longer than 3 words. Perhaps safe to sleep. You are held, all down. Child, keep it as a soft loop. Each time the mind wanders, return to that phrase like a pebble on a calm shore. Repeat it 3 times with the breath. Let it slow the thinking. Humming and the phrase together form a lullaby. The melody is not mine alone. It is a tradition of quiet things. It has ancestors in kitchens and porches and small beds. It has no demand for wisdom. It only needs to be present. Let the melody and phrase breathe together. Now imagine placing one promise under the pillow. Make it a small thing, not a list of the world's mistakes. Only a single promise that matters tonight. Place that promise there like a folded note. When the head rests, the promise is near. It keeps its small watch. The mind can return to it and know it is not alone. Do a quick body check with the lullaby in mind. Start at the crown. Let the scalp relax. Let the jaw unclench. Follow the hum down to the throat. Breathe into the hollow there. On the out-breath, let any tightness drift like a paper boat on still water. If an image stands firm in the mind, name it gently, and then set it aside. Tonight, the bed does the work of keeping what cannot yet be fixed. If tears come, accept them as part of the song. Tears are a note in a lullaby. They are not failure. They are release. If a quiet laugh comes, welcome it. Lullabies have room for both. I tell a small story inside the music. Once a person stayed awake for many nights. The mind spun like a small mill. Sleep felt like an elusive guest. One night, a friend sat and hummed beside the bed. The hum was not clever. It did not explain the fear. It only sounded a steady note. Slowly the mind stitched itself to that note. Sleep came, not because the mind was persuaded, but because the body found an easy rhythm. Presence matters more than argument. Keep that story near you. Presence is the heart of the lullaby. It needs no greater argument. Presence holds the space for rest to begin. Think about light now. A night lamp is small and close. It does not erase the dark. It carves a small circle of enough. Imagine that circle on the bedside table. The light reveals the book. The cup, the folded promise under the pillow. The lamp does not judge. It only shows the immediate things. Let the lamp be a promise that only the present needs attention. I move to a short prayer in my mind. Keep it simple. I do not preach. I do not weigh. I ask only that the promise of peace may hold tonight. I ask that safety be felt in the breath. I ask that the small promise beneath the pillow may be a companion. The prayer is a small turning toward care. Now breathe with another gentle practice. Inhale for 3 counts. Hold briefly. Exhale on a hum that matches the tune in my voice. Let the hum be a line that stretches the out-breath. Count nothing if counting feels heavy. Let the hum lengthen naturally. Let it be the thread that guides you to quiet. Bring to mind a scene of watched sleep, a boat on a calm lake, a parent on the shore with a lantern. The boat rocks gently. The lantern does not chase the dark. It only keeps the circle of boat and passenger safe. The lantern is a promise. The promise is not perfect. It is faithful. Let that image be easy to see. If worry returns, give it a name and a place. Say one sentence, "This is worry." Then imagine placing that worry into the lantern's light. The act is small. It does not solve the worry. It simply puts it in a friendlier scene. Watching worry from a lamplit shore often makes it less ferocious. I offer a final small practice to close this part. Place both hands on the chest if it feels safe. Let the thumbs rest near the sternum. Breathe slowly. As each out-breath leaves, hum the lullaby once. The hum should be low, like a tide. Each repetition adds one soft stitch to the night's blanket. If sleep comes quickly, let the hum fade. Let the presence remain. If wakefulness stays, keep the practices gentle. Keep the lamps small. Keep the promises short. Rest is patient. I read the comforting line from the psalm in my mind once more. I do not make it a test of faith. I make it a soft assurance. The words say, "Lie down and sleep in peace. Be kept safe." Let that be literal tonight. Let the body believe the quiet message even if the mind doubts. I leave this lullaby like a small garment folded at the bedside. It is not heavy. It does not press choices upon tomorrow. It only sits ready. If the mind or the body needs it in the night, it will be there. Before I close, take one more long, careful breath. Let it fill the ribs. Let it settle the shoulders. Breathe out slowly and hum the lullaby once more. Feel the chest soften by a fraction. That small change is enough. It is a seed of rest. I offer a final blessing in a simple line. May peace lie down with you. May safety keep the corners of the night. May the promise under your pillow be near to the pulse. May sleep come with a gentle hand on the shoulder. I remain in voice a little longer. The lamp's light lowers. The lullaby becomes a whisper. When you drift, know that I continue to keep watch in memory. Tomorrow, we will sit again and read another short piece. For now, let the hush and the lullaby carry you. Good night. I sit with the quiet a moment longer. The lamp keeps its small circle of warmth. The Bible lies open. I speak in a voice meant for sleeping rooms. My words are short. They move like low tides. We have come far tonight. The reading has folded gentle images across the chest. Now we come to one last quiet act. It is not loud. It is the soft closing of a hand around a small gift. It is Thanksgiving. I offer a simple paraphrase from a short passage I return to again and again. It asks for a steady joy. It asks for prayer that grows into a habit, not a task. It asks for thankfulness in the middle of things. Even when the day feels heavy, hear those few lines as an invitation. It is less about a rule and more about a posture of heart. Begin with a breath. Breathe in slowly for 2 counts. Pause. Breathe out longer for 4. Let the out-breath be an offering. Let each exhale carry a single word, thanks. Keep the rhythm small and even. Think first of forgiveness. Picture it not as a lecture, but as a soft cloth placed over the places that sting. Forgiveness arrives like cool water on hot skin. It does not erase scars. It soothes them. In the mind, name one small thing that you feel forgiven for tonight. Do not make a list. Choose one. Let it rest in the center of the chest for a breath. Feel the loosened edge beneath the ribs. Now turn to grace. Imagine grace as a plain lamp on a bedside table. It does not glare. It gives enough light to see immediate steps. Grace comes without a ledger. It is a gift laid down with a name on it. Reach toward the image. Let the palms hover near the lamp. Feel the warmth. The warmth is calm and steady. No bargain is required to hold it. Next, let peace come into the picture. Picture a small harbor on a soft night. Boats bob quietly. The water carries no sound of waves crashing. The harbor keeps the boats from tossing. Sense the hush that lives there. Bring that hush into the breast. Let it sit under the sternum like a steady pulse. Whisper a short sentence of thanks in the mind. Keep it plain. Thank you for forgiveness. Thank you for grace. Thank you for peace. Say each phrase once on the out-breath. No long prayers are needed. Short, true words anchor the heart. The body listens more than the mind sometimes. The chest answers before the intellect does. There is a small practice I invite now. Close the eyes if that feels safe. Picture 3 small lights in a line. 1 is for forgiveness. 1 is for grace. 1 is for peace. Watch each light glow in turn. Do not ask each light to be bright. Let them be modest. Let each one send a soft circle of warmth. As the lights turn, place a short thanks into their glow. The act of naming is enough. The lights do not need explanation. They simply shine. Humming can be part of worship here. A single, low hum works well. Hum, a soft note on the out-breath. Let it vibrate in the chest. The vibration is a quiet song. It is not performance. It is presence. If humming feels awkward, imagine a single string plucked slowly. Hear the echo rest in the ribs. I read aloud in my mind another line of scripture as a lullaby. It urges joy that does not burn itself out by being false. It asks for prayer that becomes steady breath. It arranges thankfulness like small stones across a dark path so that the foot can find purchase. Let the phrases roll slowly inside. They are not an argument. They are company. Now practice gratitude with the senses. Name 3 small things from the day. Keep them simple. Perhaps a warm cup. Perhaps a quiet voice. Perhaps a moment when the sun touched a wall. Hold each item for a few breaths. Let the memory of it be a small lamp. The lamps together make a line that guides the eye of the heart. Imagine, for a moment, a slow table. On the table lie small tokens, a pebble for forgiveness, a ribbon for grace, a leaf for peace. Walk your attention to the table. Pick up one token at a time. Feel its shape. Let the fingers know its edges. This tactile imagining grounds gratitude in the body. Bodies remember what words sometimes miss. Give thanks for the ones who brought mercy. Think of people who offered a hand when feet slipped, a neighbor who stayed quiet in a hard hour, a friend who listened without trying to fix everything. Say thanks inwardly for those hands. Allow the warmth of that memory to travel down to the shoulders. Let them drop a breath's width. If it helps, fold a quiet prayer around these words. A short phrase is enough. Thank you for being near. Keep the tone plain and thankful. No heavy explanations. Just a turning of the head toward what is given. There is a gentle question to consider now. Posed not as a demand, but as an invitation. Where did mercy touch you most recently? Bring that moment to mind. Do not make it large. Keep it as a small scene. Maybe a cup placed within reach. Maybe a hand on a cheek. Hold the scene and name one word for it. Mercy. Breathe that word into the place where the memory sits. Gratitude and worship are close kin in this hour. Worship here looks like a quiet leaning. It is not a performance. It is the body bending toward what steadies it. A posture of thanks opens the chest like a window. Air moves through. Freshness arrives. Now a short exercise for the hands. Place them lightly over the heart. Let the fingers meet at the sternum. Keep the pressure minimal. The palms become a pair of small roofs. As breath moves in and out, imagine each out-breath pouring a ribbon of thanks down the arms and into the fingers. Release a ribbon with each exhale. Watch how the shoulders soften with the letting go. I read another paraphrase of the scripture gently. The passage, suggests a life of small rejoicings, not of forced joy, not a loud show, a soft gladness that clings in the corners. The words invite prayer that is half breath. Half breath. They welcome gratitude that does not have to explain everything. Let that shape of life be a new rhythm tonight. Hold a single, short thanksgiving for your body. Thank the hands that have kept watch, the feet that walked through the day, the lungs that breathed without speaking. Let the thanks sit near the ribs. The body does not need praise in speech. Simpler recognition calms it. Turn attention now to the darker edges, where worry sleeps near the bed. Give it also a small thanks for the protection it tried to offer. This is not praise for anxiety. It is an acknowledgement that fear tried to keep something safe. Naming that effort without joining it can loosen its grip. Say one small word to that part. Thank you for trying. Then imagine setting it gently on the table beside the other tokens. There is a tiny ritual I recommend. Imagine a cup on the nightstand. Pour into that cup 3 small things to be thankful for. Pour slowly. Feel the weight of the pouring in the wrists. When the cup is filled, cover it with a napkin. Place it under the lamp. Trust that gratitude, like tea, can steep over the night and change the flavor of the morning. If a song rises, let it be quiet and short. A single 3-note melody hummed on a slow out-breath will do. Let the melody be a circle that brings the mind back to the chest. Each circle tightens the knot of presence. Continue until the breathing grows easier. I also invite a short act of offering. Choose one small worry that can be left for morning. Write it, if the hands are awake, on a scrap, or place it mentally as a folded note. Lay the note on the nightstand and set a small intention. Not now. Tomorrow will take its place. For tonight, the chest needs rest. This tiny act of deferral is a practical prayer. Give thanks now for things that cannot be changed quickly. Thank the seasons of life, even the hard ones, for the lessons they taught. Do not hurry to pronounce meaning. Keep the thanks humble and patient. Gratitude does not insist on quick resolution. It sits with what is true and grows gentleness in the marrow. There is another soft practice. Picture a circle of small lights around the room. Each light bears the name of a hope or a mercy. Walk in your mind to each light and say thank you once as you pass. The walk does not need to be long. The lights are close. The motion is a small pilgrimage from worry to peace. If sleep presses near, let the thanksgiving fold into it. Allow the images to blur gently. The lights dim into steady stars. The cup under the lamp cools. The hand over the heart grows heavier and softer. I close this act with a short, simple prayer. It is not ornate. It does not attempt to solve the vastness of life. It is a hush of words. Thank you for forgiveness. Thank you for grace. Thank you for peace. May these gifts hold through the small hours. May the heart learn the rhythm of joy and quiet gratitude. Amen. Said simply in the mind. Before I finish this part, feel how joy and thankfulness can sit together. Joy is not always loud. Sometimes it is a small, steady warmth that presses like a palm to the sternum. Gratitude is its companion. Together they make a soft net. The net does not catch everything. It simply keeps the heart from falling into the cold. Take one last long breath with me. Inhale slowly. Hold the softest beat. Exhale with a word of thanks on the out-breath. Let the shoulders fall. Let the jaw unclench. Let the lungs empty in gentle surrender. I will stay in the room for a little while longer, in voice. If sleep has not yet come, hold these images like small stones in the palm. If the eyes are already heavy, let them go. Tomorrow we will sit again. More reading will come. For now, let the gifts of forgiveness, grace, and peace stand guard through the night. Let the posture of thanksgiving be the final shape of this hour. May the small lights of thanks keep watch. May joy settle soft as down. May the coming sleep be gentle and sure. When morning arrives, there will be work and rhythms waiting. Tonight is for resting in what has been freely given. Good night. I come near the end of this long night with a careful pace. My voice is low. It moves like a slow hand along a familiar path. I sit beside you and listen with my words. I keep them small and steady so the heart can follow. We have walked many slow steps together. We have set down burdens one by one. We have opened small rooms of mercy and let a light sit on the table. Now the air asks for a final folding. The night wants a gentle crease that holds the day inside without squeezing. I offer that crease with short phrases and simple images. Breathe with me a moment. Let the lungs fill as if drawing in something soft. Count 2 if that helps. Hold for a thin beat. Let the out-breath be longer. Easy. Like a ribbon leaving the hand. Repeat this pattern 3 times. Each passing breath loosens a tiny knot. Each release makes the chest a little more roomy. I read again from the quiet places of the scriptures, but not with heavy words. I paraphrase in plain lines. The passage I carry tonight says that we may lie down and sleep without fear. It says safety gathers like a shawl. It says a gentle presence keeps watch. Hear it as a small promise, a fact that rests beside the bed like a lamp. Imagine the promise as a whisper, not a trumpet. It slips beneath the noise and lands on the collarbone. It does not demand a reply. It waits. Let the waiting feel like a hand that does not pry. Place a palm where the whisper is easiest to sense. Let the warmth of the palm be answer enough. I will guide one small practice. Now, it is a practice in leaving. Take one worry that feels urgent tonight. Make it modest in the mind. Do not collect a basketful. Choose one. Give it a color. Give it a shape. Let it be whatever image arrives without forcing. Imagine a gentle boat. Place the worry into that boat. Watch the sail. Catch a soft wind. The boat moves. Not to vanish entirely, but to take the weight somewhere else for a while. Let that relocation be permission to rest. If the mind protests, name the protest softly. Say, "This is true now. I set it down for the night." Saying the sentence is an act. It is not a dodge. It is a practical step. Hands that have carried loads need to put them down. The night helps us practice that. I keep my voice low and steady as I paraphrase another short line from the Psalms. It speaks of quiet fields and safe paths. It imagines a shepherd who knows the names of those who wander. The shepherd's care is not theatrical. It is the kind that knits simple stitches. Let this image rest behind the eyes. Let it be the small map the mind returns to when thoughts try to run. Now, a body practice. Notice where breath meets bone. The collarbones, the hollow beneath the throat. Breathe into that place. Picture a tiny light there, the size of a candle flame. With each in-breath, the flame warms. With each out-breath, the flame widens. The light does not flare. It simply steadies. Keep this slow pattern for a few rounds. The steady light becomes a center the rest of the body can orbit. We have spoken of forgiveness and of being received. Tonight I add a small invitation. Imagine a mail slot in a door that opens to a simple room. Through the slot, slide one short paper that names what you long to leave behind. Fold the paper once. Push it through. Listen for the soft thud as it lands on the floor inside. The act is small. It makes the heart a little less crowded. It does not erase what happened. It changes where it sits. If images of return rise, let them come without pressure. A return can be a step, not a spectacle. The doors we thought closed sometimes stand slightly ajar. The person who waits on the inside does not keep a ledger for punishment. They keep a kettle warm and a chair ready. Picture that kettle and chair now. They are ordinary. They are safe. They are more than enough for a tired soul. There is room here for a gentle confession, not a long catalogue. A single sentence is enough. Say it quietly in the mind. Keep the grammar plain. I am sorry for this. I am tired. I need rest. The confession is an exhale of honesty. It is an honest gesture rather than a great apology. It opens the chest a fraction. Now we turn to gratitude again. But softly, find 3 small things from the day that were plain kindness. A cup held out. A door opened. A word that did not judge. Hold each thing like a pebble. Feel the texture in imagination. Place the pebbles into a small bowl by the bedside. Watch how a few pebbles become a stable weight that steadies the hand. I paraphrase a short verse that suggests mercy is near every morning. The verse pictures the dawn like a patient artist. The artist returns with a soft wash that blurs the sharp edges from the night. Imagine that paint touching the horizon of the mind. Do not expect a perfect scene. Expect only gentle color that makes fear less distinct. Let the color be enough to soothe the edges. There is one more physical movement I invite. Roll the shoulders back slowly, and then let them fall. Do this twice. Allow each fall to be heavier than the last. Picture gravity as a friend who helps the body unload. It is not cruel. It just does its steady work. Feel the neck lengthen. Let the jaw open just a little. Tiny changes in posture send calm signals to the whole system. Remember also the small lamp by the bedside. Keep it in the mind as a symbol. When thoughts race, bring the lamp forward. See how the light cuts a small circle. Notice the details inside the circle, the edge of the pillow, the curve of a hand, the warmth of a blanket. Give attention only to the things the lamp reveals. The rest can remain in gentle shadow. I speak a quiet truth. Now, rest sometimes feels like surrender. Surrender is not always dramatic. It can be a conscious choice to stop doing the things the body is not built to do in the midnight hour. There is courage in trust. There is bravery in folding the hands and closing the eyes. Let that bravery be honored. If worry returns with loud voices, try a small dialogue in your mind. Ask the worry one clear question. What do you want from me tonight? Wait for the briefest answer. Often the reply is a demand to act. Gently tell the worry, not now. I will address you when the day is bright. Put a soft boundary around it. The act of boundary making is a quiet stewardship. It protects the night. I bring up a memory that is not burdensome. Think of a place where you felt small kindness, a bench in a park, a warm kitchen, a porch. Picture the textures of that place. Hear the near sounds. Let the bones remember how it felt to be steady. Memory can be a practice field for rest. Visit it a minute or two. Let the body register the safety. I also offer a short listening practice. Close the eyes if that feels safe. Listen for the smallest sounds in the room, the tick of a clock. Distant trafic. The breath at the ribs. Do not try to name every sound. Notice them, like small notes in a calm song. This attention trains the ear to be present rather than anxious. The more the ear settles, the more the mind learns to follow. Sometimes sleep is slow to come. That is okay. Rest does not require dropping into deep sleep immediately. Wakeful rest has value. It allows the nervous system to unhook from emergency tension. Lie quietly and let the rhythm of the breath be the evening's metronome. If the eyes remain open, watch the slow parade of dark shapes behind lids. Accept them like clouds moving across a broad sky. Before we move toward the final blessing, make one small, practical preparation. Tuck a note under the lamp, or imagine doing so. On it write a single line for the morning, one small task that will help. Keep it very small, water the plant. Send a quick message. Take a brief walk. This tiny plan gives tomorrow an anchor without pulling tonight into heavy planning. Let the note be simple and kind. I return to the Bible in my mind and paraphrase another short promise. It speaks of a presence that hears low whispers and soft prayers. It says the listener leans closer to small confessions. It does not demand a deep theology. It simply listens and holds. Imagine that listener as one who keeps a steady light and a soft hand. Feel the relief that comes from being heard. We have done many small acts tonight. We have set down stones, carried pebbles to the bowl, placed a worry in a tiny boat. Each gesture is one more stitch in the night's blanket. None of them demands perfection. They add up gently. The sum of small practices often brings the body to a place where sleep can come without coercion. If fear of tomorrow rises, name only what is actionable tonight. Reduce the field. Choose one thing that can be attended by morning and let the rest remain under a soft cover. The habit of deferring large plans until the day can hold them is a practice of mercy toward the self. Now, prepare for a shorter prayer in the next part. Adjust the body. Place the hands where they feel most resting. Fold them if that is comforting. Let the breath find its long out breath once more. Think of the prayer not as a performance, but as a small turning toward the voice that keeps watch. I will speak the prayer in a few moments. It will be simple. It will ask for quiet, for a whisper of love to be near, for rest that tends repairs. The prayer will not argue doctrine. It will be an offering of thanks and a request for gentle holding through the night. For now, take one slow, long breath. Fill the lungs like a bellows. Hold the lightest beat. Release slowly. As you release, feel the shoulders let go. Feel the jaw soften. Let the out-breath be an offering. Let it carry one word of hope. Rest. Peace. Enough into the dark. Stay in this hush. Keep the small lamp of image and breath near. If sleep arrives, allow it to come in its own time. If you wake in the middle of the night, remember the lamp and the boat and the bowl of pebbles. Use these small images to find rest again. The habits we form now will be the soft habits of mornings to come. When I speak the prayer, I will do it as your reader and companion. I will place my voice like a gentle hand, not to demand, but to accompany. I will ask for mercy to meet what ache is. I will ask that peace, offered freely, may wrap around what is fragile. I will ask that sleep be the kind that heals. Before I close this part, let me give one final, very simple instruction. If your hands feel restless, let them rest across the belly. If they are already still, place a single fingertip at the sternum. Keep the point of touch light. That fingertip is enough to remind a body how to slow. It is a tiny anchor. I stay with you in voice a little longer. The next part will be the end of this night's reading. It will be a short, heartfelt prayer and a last blessing. We will ask only for quiet mercy and the hush of ready rest. Prepare the breath. Let the heart unclench by small degrees. Trust that these little acts build a safe room. Lie down now, if that will help. Close the eyes when you are ready. Let the images soften. Keep the small lamp in the mind. Keep the quiet promise near the collarbone. I will speak soon in a hushed prayer. For now, rest in the simple work of breathing and being held. I stay with the hush a little longer. My voice is low and steady. I speak as one who keeps watch. I keep my words small and plain. They are meant for listening, not argument. You have come with tired feet. You have come with a chest full of small wars. Tonight we make a simple end. We do not solve everything. We make space. We name a few truths and let them rest like stones by the pillow. First, breathe with me. Breathe in for 2 gentle counts. Hold the breath like a very light pause. Breathe out for 5. Let each out-breath be a slow river. Repeat this pattern until the body answers with a softer rhythm. Breath is an honest instrument. It tells the nervous system it is safe to slow. I read to you a short line in my own words. It says that a kind presence watches over the sleeping. It keeps a steady eye. It does not demand proof. The presence is not harsh. It is tender and sure. Imagine a quiet lamp in the room. The lamp does not glare. It makes a small circle of enough light. That light is the sign of watchfulness. Place a hand over the heart if that feels right. Let the palm be a small roof. Feel the rise and fall beneath the hand. Let the warmth of the palm answer to the lamp. This small physical contact teaches the body something words cannot always say. You are allowed to rest. Choose one small thing to leave at the door of the night. Make it modest. One worry, one plan that can wait until morning. Give it a color and a shape in the mind. Set it down. Do not load the night with more than it can hold. The night is not a workshop. It is a repair room that needs calm to do its work. I offer a brief paraphrase from a familiar passage. It reminds us that mercy meets the low and weary. Mercy looks for the person who stumbles. Mercy lifts with gentle hands. Hearing this is not a command. It is an assurance. Let the meaning sink in slowly, like a spoon dipping tea and returning warm. Now, picture a small garden at dusk. The beds have been tended. A low bench sits under a tree. Someone moves with care, checking the soil. That person does not hurry. They have time. Their work is attentive. That scene is a way of thinking about mercy in action. It is quiet and practical. It keeps the garden in order so that sleep can rest on soft earth. If your mind wants to argue, let it watch the garden instead. Arguments tire the body. The mind often tries to solve tomorrow's problems in the middle of the night. offer it the bench. Tell it to sit and breathe. You do not have to win every debate right now. The bench will hold those thoughts until morning. I guide a short body scan for these final moments. Start at the crown of the head. Notice any holding there. Breathe into it. Let a small loosening happen. Move slowly down the face. Unclench the jaw. Imagine the tiny muscles in the forehead letting go, like ropes gradually slackening. The release does not have to be dramatic. Small ease counts. Move down the neck and shoulders. Imagine a soft sash slipping off the shoulders and pooling at the sides. The sash is a symbol. It is not a magic. It is a practice name. The weight. Give it a place and let the body respond. Let the shoulders drop by a fraction. Let the back fold gently into the mattress or chair. Bring attention to the hands. They often do more than they should. Rest them on the lap or on the chest. Let the fingers open like the petals of a small flower. When the hands relax, the rest of the body often follows. Now think of forgiveness as a simple cup of warm water. It does not erase the past. It rinses away grit. Hold the cup gently in the imagination. Drink a little mercy. Do not expect a flood of insight. A small sip is enough tonight. The warmth travels down the throat and makes the chest feel less raw. If a face appears in the mind when you imagine forgiveness, do not force a story. Allow a single, kind image, a hand extended, a gietnoth, a bowl set at the table. These ordinary gestures do heavy work. They are the grammar of restoration. I invite a tiny spoken line in your mind. Say it slowly and without grand performance. Maybe be held. Maybe I can rest. Maybe mercy is here. Choose one and let it be the refrain for 3 breaths. Repeat it like a whisper. Let the phrase lose its rhetorical weight and become a small habit of heart. There will be nights when the words feel empty. That is okay. The habit of returning to a short line is useful, even when meaning is thin. Repetition teaches the body to trust rhythm. Rhythm calms the nervous system. Calm helps repair. Now I paraphrase another scripture image in a plain way. It pictures a gentle guide who leads to quiet water and soft fields. The guide knows the way because the guide has walked it before. That knowledge is not a scorecard of perfection. It is a posture of care. Imagine the guide dialing back the pace so your feet do not slip. Here the guide's steps fall in time with yours. If feet feel heavy with doubt, picture sitting by a stream. The water moves without hurry. Droppa small pebble into it. Watch the rings spread and fade. Let the motion remind you that time often heals by degrees. The pebble does not disappear. The rings show the world has received the motion and is changing slowly. There is a brief act I ask you to try. Fold one hand over the other. Let the thumbs touch lightly. Close the eyes if that helps. Bring to mind a single soft scene from the day, a small kindness, a quiet sunset, a cup of tea. Hold that scene briefly and give thanks. Keep the thanks short and specific. Gratitude is not a demand that all be fixed. It is recognition that some light arrived today. If the chest tightens, do not fight it with force. Turn toward it with tenderness. Place the palm over the tight place. Breathe into the spot for 3 slow breaths. Imagine the breath moving the muscle like wind through tall grass. The grass bends. The tension loosens. Compassion is a tool the body understands. Now, a short, restful prayer spoken slowly in my voice and in the quiet of your mind. I do not use big words here. I speak simply. I ask for peace to come and sit. I ask for mercy to meet what hurts. I ask for a small courage when morning returns. The prayer is an offering, not a lecture. Let it land like rain on a roof and sound like a promise. If prayer feels strange, think of the act as putting a letter into a small box. You do not have to read it out loud. You simply place it down. The act of placement is a relief. It shifts burden from hands to a safe place. Let the mind feel that lightening. We will now name a few brief blessings together. Keep them slow. I speak, and you receive them in your heart. May forgiveness find the places that ache. Let that be a quiet fact more than a task. May grace arrive without a ledger. Imagine it sitting down beside you and offering warmth. May peace fold around your shoulders like a soft shawl. May sleep come not as an enemy, but as a friend who opens a slow door. May morning bring fresh mercy. May courage visit when the alarm sounds. May small tasks find willing hands. May the day not demand more than you can carry. And if it does, may help be near enough to share the load. If you wake in the night, remember a single small practice. Breathe in slowly. Think of a lamp in the room of the mind. Let the lamp's circle be the limit of attention until the breath steadies. Do not chase every thought. Keep the lamp close. Return to one tiny line beheld. Beheld. Beheld until the body listens. I stay with simple images. A bowl by the bedside holds 3 pebbles forgiveness. Grace. Peace. Place a pebble into the bowl tonight for each small mercy you remember. Let the stones be weight and witness. The bowl does not judge. It keeps the tokens safe. If tears come, let them fall without shame. Tears are the body's honest pouring. If laughter comes, let it be gentle. Both wash the face in different ways. Both make space. Slowly begin to prepare to sleep. Arrange the pillow. Adjust the blanket. Let small physical comforts be an act of care for a tired body. Small acts send signals to the nervous system you are worth tending. I speak now a final prayer in very plain words. The prayer asks for a rest that heals. It asks for mercy to cover the small wounds and the large. It asks that hope be near like a low light at the foot of the bed. The prayer is short and direct. It asks for tenderness to be real and steady. I finish with a closing blessing. May the night cradle you. May the one who knows your name keep watch without judging. May your chest learn to soften. May dreams come light and honest. May the morning arrive with enough grace to begin again. When you drift, know that my voice waits in memory for a little while longer. I will not wake you. I will not press. If you choose to rise later, you will find the lamp still warm in the picture of the mind. The small objects we set down tonight will stay in the bowl until morning. Now one more long breath with me. Breathe in slowly. Hold the smallest beat. Breathe out long and gentle. Let the breath carry a single word with it. Choose the word that helps most rest. Peace. Enough. Held. Breathe the word out into the dark. Let it learn. I will remain in voice for a moment, and then let the room be quiet. If you like, I will read again another night. For now, sleep in mercy. Sleep in the calm that does not require proving. Sleep with hope measured in small steps. Good night.